Did you know that high self-esteem requires that you have clear values, virtues, and ideals to which you're committed and by which you live? Your values lie at the core of your personality. Top performers in all areas are very clear about who they are and what they stand for and what they believe in. They have clear values and virtues that they will not compromise for any reason. Because you are a top performer, you know what you stand for and what you will not stand for. You know what you believe in and in what order of importance. The interesting thing is that much of your stress or unhappiness in life comes when you deviate away from your true values, from what you know to be good and true deep down within yourself. Men and women with high self-esteem are very clear about what they believe in. And the higher your values and ideals are, the more committed you become to living your life consistent with those values and ideals. And then, the more you like and respect yourself, and the higher your self-esteem will be. Lasting self-esteem and high levels of personal performance are only possible when your goals and your values are congruent. That is, when they fit together like a hand into a glove. Much of the stress that people experience comes from believing one thing down deep and trying to do something else that is not consistent or aligned with their real values. When you bring your goals and values into alignment, you feel a wonderful sense of calmness, confidence, and personal power. That is when you begin to make real progress. Perhaps the core personal value is integrity, and your integrity is always expressed in your level of truthfulness. Top people always tell the truth, no matter what the temptation or the external circumstances. They refuse to shade the truth, exaggerate, or be dishonest in any way. The wonderful thing is that the more you live in truth with yourself and others, the greater peace of mind and happiness you experience, and the more confidence and energy you have. And the best of all with regard to integrity is that you will be more respected and esteemed by the most important people in your life. Stephen Covey says that the key to being trusted is to be trustworthy. You become trustworthy by being the kind of person who everyone trusts and believes in completely, because they know that whatever you say, it will always be the truth. Once you're clear about your values and your beliefs, you then set your goals for the outside world, and you organize your activities in such a way that they are in harmony with those values. You do what you know to be right. You only do work that you believe in. You only do things that you care about. Many people find themselves distracted and unmotivated in one job or type of work, and when they change to the right job for them, they suddenly spring into life, full of energy, enthusiasm, ambition, and high levels of happiness. You build high self-esteem by becoming clear about your values and by organizing your goals and activities around those values. When your outer life becomes congruent with your inner life, you will feel terrific about yourself and start to perform at your best. Now here's an exercise for you. Take some time to become clear about your values and beliefs. Make sure that everything you do in the outer world is in harmony with what you believe to be right and good in your inner world.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about how to set and achieve challenging goals. It may never feel like the perfect time to start making strides toward achieving your goals, but in reality, the only perfect time is now. We all have big goals in life, and some of them may seem out of reach at times, but nothing is impossible if you have the right plan. Having an effective strategy to help you achieve challenging goals can be the most important key to your success. So, to help you overcome any obstacle, I've put together my best practices for how to reach challenging goals wherever you happen to be in life right now. First, it's important to focus your goals on what they call SMART goal setting, S-M-A-R-T. Not all goals are created equal, and it takes a strategic and smart approach to reaching challenging goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded. Specifically for challenging goals, that A word for achievable is incredibly important. While it's important to push yourself out of your comfort zone, if your goal is not achievable from the start, you're just setting yourself up for failure. If you fear your goal has a high probability of failure, perhaps it is simply too aspirational. It's too big. Which brings me to my next tip. Break your goal down into manageable tasks, what we call bite-sized tasks. This helps you to keep your goals in motion and achieve them one small step at a time. You know the old question, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Same with big goals. Remember, each step you take brings you that much closer to reaching your goals. And by the way, each step you take motivates you to take the next step. So while they may not seem monumental in the moment, all of these daily tasks add up to incredible accomplishments. Similarly, my third tip for reaching challenging goals is to set specific milestones. You can help yourself stay motivated in any situation, whether it's hunting for a new job, staying motivated in school, or hitting a new financial goal by creating and celebrating milestones along the way. When you check a task off your to-do list, no matter how small that task may be, it is a victory that pushes you one step closer to your goals. Celebrate your small successes along the way, whether it be taking time off, spending time with loved ones, or simply reflecting on your latest achievement. These moments of reflection on your hard work help you to remember your why, your big picture plan. The fourth, and my personal favorite tip, is to eat that frog. Mark Twain said that if the first thing you do each morning is to eat a live frog, you can go through the day with the satisfaction of knowing that is probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you all day long. Your frog is your biggest, hardest, most important task. You must develop the habit or the routine of eating your frog before you do anything else, and without taking too much time to think about it. When using the Eat That Frog strategy, make a list the night before of all the tasks you need to do the next day. Once you begin the hardest task of the day, work steadily and single-mindedly until it is 100% complete. Next, implement the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, is one that can be applied to any goal. This rule says that 20% of your activities will usually account for 80% of your results in almost any area. When you break down the 80-20 rule, you'll find that 2 out of 10 items on a general to-do list will turn out to be worth more than the other 8 items put together. Understanding this principle allows you to prioritize what tasks will achieve the greatest result in the shortest amount of time. And finally, start achieving your goals now. The truth is, it may never feel like the perfect time to start making strides toward achieving your goals, but in reality, the only perfect time is now, not tomorrow, and not someday. Now, I love to hear from you, so my question today is, how can you implement these strategies to achieve your goals? Leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to reach challenging goals, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to give you some tips on how to save money in the year ahead. $50 next year by passing up that morning $5 latte. You could kickstart your day instead with a strong jolt of your own home brew. And while we're on the subject, what are you spending each month on cable satellite TV? Multiply that figure by 12 and subtract the cost of a TV broadcast aerial, and you could add another $1,000 to $1,200 to your savings kitty. Giving up fancy coffee and overpriced cable TV are but two examples of low-sacrifice measures to save money. They're part of a stunningly simple strategy that anyone can adopt, and you only need to do two things. Maybe you don't think you can live on less than you earn, but you can. It requires an honest needs assessment. Ask yourself, are you paying more than 28% of your monthly income on lodging, house payments, apartment rent, and so on? The 28% is the benchmark that most lenders use in calculating your debt-to-income ratio. If so, you are living beyond your means and need to make a move. Then there's that income-sucking credit card. Are you reaching for it to pay for items you once bought with cash? Take a look at last month's statement. Notice how all of those little charges add up to one big bill. You can, no doubt, come up with other examples, but the important thing here is to find ways to live below your means so that you can start saving that extra money. Here are some tips for living below your means. First, know what demands you are placing on your income. Make a list of everything and make everything on that list a candidate for economizing. Second, set a realistic monthly savings goal. Multiply it by 12, and that's what you'll have saved by this time next year. What is your next move? Are you going for debt paydown, a family vacation, or maybe just a cushion in case of an emergency? Decide and you'll know whether you can live on the leftover income. Third, pay down your debt. Living debt-free is the clearest path towards living below your means and saving your money. Consider consolidating and paying off your credit card debt. Find a sharp pair of scissors and cut up the credit and bank cards you need to pay down. Next, make a budget and stick to it. If you have followed up the advice above, you're already more than halfway to a budget. You cannot get a handle on what you can save until you know everything about what you earn, what your recurring expenses are, and where all that other money is going. You need a budget. With that said, here are the 7 suggestions on preparing a budget. First, decide on how you want to track your budget. You can use anything from a spiral notebook to financial software, or look for free spreadsheet budget templates online. Second, record all your income and be conservative on your projections. Include your gross income, bonuses, interest income, tax rebates, and all other sources. Third, determine your expenses. You'll spend more time on this, but know that expenses are the most controllable elements of your budget. Budget your expenses into categories of fixed and discretionary. Fixed means that, like rent and car payments, you can't avoid them. Discretionary are things that you can put off or delay to a later time or to no time at all. Fourth, compare your income with the expenses. Most Americans spend about 70% of their income on fixed expenses like lodging, rent, utilities, transportation, food, etc. The remaining 30% provides scant wiggle room unless you can find a way to cut down on the fixed expenses. The best rule of thumb is to budget total expenses at about 90% of your income. Fifth, improve your situation by focusing on the expense side of your budget. If you want to live below your means, you must be honest about what are necessities, fixed, and what are luxuries, discretionary. Cut down on the latter and try to reduce the former. Sixth, focus on your goals. By now you should have a good snapshot of your financial health and how much you can save and still live below your income. Include the big ticket items like your child's education, a new home, and your retirement years. And seventh, revisit your budget and keep close track of your progress. Are you on target to achieve your monthly savings goals? A monthly review, preferably around the 10th, will allow you to check whether your spending estimates were accurate or unrealistic. If unrealistic, you need to adjust them for the coming month. Saving your money is about setting your goals and priorities. You do that by choosing what you are saving for, setting a budget, and recording your expenses. You can live below your means and save for your future. Make the commitment and do the work. This time next year, you'll be well on your way to reaching all your financial goals. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share it with your friends and followers. You can have more, be more, and do more because you can change the person you are. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is this. What is one thing that you can do to save money starting immediately? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to save money, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching. One of the most important lines I read as a young man was the line that the first hour is the rudder of the day. And some people call the first hour the golden hour because it sets the tone for everything that happens for the rest of the day. And you cannot take it casually. Remember, everything counts. So what are some daily morning rituals that people can practice to prepare their mind and tackle the rest of the day? I have worked with thousands of successful people, and they all have rituals or habits. Now, everyone has a daily morning ritual that they practice, whether they know it or not. Some of these habits are more beneficial than others and can prepare your mind and body for everything you have planned for that day. One beneficial habit that you can practice every morning is to get up and read 30 to 60 minutes in something uplifting and inspirational each day. When you get up in the morning and instead of reading the newspaper or watching television, you read something positive and constructive and inspiring, you set your mental stage or tone for the rest of the day. Throughout the day, from the first day that you try this, you will notice that things go better for you. You'll be calmer, you're more productive, you're more creative, you're more alert. You'll actually be more resilient and will respond more effectively when you face the inevitable ups and downs of your daily life. Just like vigorous physical exercise in the morning will prepare you to be more resilient physically during the day, positive mental exercise in the form of inspirational reading will prepare you to be more mentally fit during the day. Another great morning habit you can practice to set a strong mental stage for the rest of the day is to start your day by eating healthy, nutritious foods. Eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grain products. Drink more fruit juice and water. Eat whole grain breakfast cereals, muffins, and yogurt, and especially high protein. At the same time, avoid fatty foods that weigh you down and tire you out. Don't eat bagels and donuts and junk food in the morning. Remember, the first meal in the morning sets you up for the whole day. The standard American breakfast of bacon and fried eggs and toast is one of the very worst combinations you can eat in the morning. Within an hour after eating these foods, you'll start to become drowsy again. All the blood in your brain will rush to your stomach to try to break down those heavy, fatty, overcooked proteins. But by starting every day with a light, healthy, nutritious breakfast, you'll have more energy hour after hour. When you start with a healthy breakfast, you'll be more alert and positive for the next few hours. You'll be more eager to get on with the day. You'll be more creative because more of your blood is available to your brain to give you ideas. You'll actually see more possibilities in everything that's going on around you. And if you eat well in the morning, you'll be a generally more cheerful person all day long. You wake up in the morning with the feeling that there's nothing that you cannot do if you put your mind to it. And if you hold that thought long enough and hard enough, it becomes true in your life. Now, you can increase your levels of optimism each day by planning every day in advance. The ideal time to plan is the night before. Make a list of everything you have to do in the coming day, and then go over the list and use the ABCDE method to set your priorities. It's amazing how much better you sleep and how much more positively you will awake when you have already pre-planned your day, when you know exactly what you're going to do and in what order. So, starting today, begin applying these beneficial morning rituals to help increase your productivity and tackle anything the day has planned for you. Get up in the morning and read for 30 to 60 minutes in something that is enlightening or inspirational rather than the newspaper. Eat a really healthy, nutritious breakfast and avoid carbohydrates and bagels and bread and bacon and things like that. And third of all, plan every day in advance. Make a list, set priorities, and then start in on your most important task first thing. If you do these three things, you're going to have a wonderful day every day. The most helpful concepts of time and life management, it's called the 80-20 rule. Now, the 80-20 rule is also called the Pareto principle, named after its founder, the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, in 1895. He noticed that people in society seemed to divide naturally into what he called the vital few, or the top 20%, in terms of money, property, and influence, and the trivial many, or the bottom 80%. Later, he discovered that virtually all economic activity was subject to this same principle, in that 80% of the wealth of Italy during that time was controlled by 20% of the population. We can take Pareto's 80-20 rule and apply it to almost any situation. In particular, we can apply it to goal setting and productivity. According to this principle, 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. That means if you have a list of 10 items to accomplish, 2 of those items will turn out to be worth more than the other 8 items put together. The sad fact is that most people procrastinate on the top 10 or 20% of items that are the most valuable and important, the vital few that account for all your success, and instead they busy themselves with the least important 80%, the trivial many that contribute very little or nothing to their success. So here's what you should do in order to effectively apply the 80-20 rule to goal setting and to your overall productivity. First, take a piece of paper and write down 10 goals. Then ask yourself, if you could only accomplish one of the goals on that list today, within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on your life? I ask this question of my clients all over the world. What is your most important goal in life right now, which you need to know, by the way, if you want to be successful? Then pick the second most important goal. What you'll find is that after you complete this exercise, you will have determined the most important 20% of your goals that will help you more than anything else you do. Second, you should work at those goals that you have chosen all the time. You often see people who appear to be busy all day long, but seem to accomplish very little. This is almost always because they're busy working on tasks that are of low value or no value, while they are procrastinating on the 1 or 2 activities that can make a real difference to their companies and to their careers. The most valuable tasks you can do each day are often the hardest and most complex, but the payoff and rewards for completing them can be tremendous. They can actually change your whole future. Before you begin work, always ask yourself, is this task in the top 20% of my activities, or is it in the bottom 80%? The rule for this is simple. Resist the temptation to clear up small things first. That's the greatest killer. We become so involved in little things, and little things multiply. They just become more and more, and at the end of the day, you're exhausted and you've accomplished nothing. If you choose to start your day working on low-value tasks, you'll soon develop the habit of always starting and working on low-value tasks. You'll be like the horse that pulls the wheel around in a circle all day, never makes any progress. Finally, I want to tell you about a study that's just been done about the attitudes of rich people versus poor people with regard to goal setting. What they found is that 85% of rich people have one big goal that they work on all the time. Only 3% of poor people have a big goal, and they don't work on it very much. So if you want to be wealthy, do what wealthy people do. Pick one big goal and work on it all the time. And if you do, it will change your life. Now, before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and followers. It is this: when your goals are clear, you will come up with exactly the right answer to achieve your goals at exactly the right time. So those are my strategies for applying the 80-20 rule to goal setting. If you haven't seen my other videos about goal setting and increasing your productivity, take a look. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is, do you use the 80-20 rule for goal setting and time management? And if you do, what changes have you noticed in your life? Leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. To learn more about goal setting, download my 14-step goal setting guide by clicking the link on the screen or in the description below to help you get on track with your goals. Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to give you some tips on how to perform well on your next job interview. It is both an art and a science. In order to give effective answers to questions, you need to anticipate the information that interviewers want and figure out how to state it in a detailed, coherent way. But you also have to master the informal, interpersonal aspects of the interview. Interacting with your potential employer in a way that makes you seem trustworthy, interesting, and likable. Only through careful preparation can you master both the formal skills and the informal ones, creating a positive, lasting impression. The next time you land an interview for a promising job, make sure you do these things. During the job interview, you need to anticipate likely questions. Preparing for an interview begins with thinking of the questions that the employer is likely to ask, as well as what responses will answer them most effectively. While every interviewer is different, most involve questions like these. What can you tell me about yourself? When employers lead with this question, they don't want you to tell them about your hobbies. Instead, they want to know about qualities you have that can't be easily listed on a CV, but that nonetheless make you a valuable worker. If you have a thirst for knowledge, a love for interpersonal interaction, or a knack for perceiving business opportunities in pop culture trends, this is the time to say it. What are your strengths? Employers who ask this question aren't looking for a list of skills and talents. They can get that from your CV. Instead, they want concrete examples of things you've done that display your strengths and abilities. What are your weaknesses? The standard tactic for answering this question is to list weaknesses that will actually come across as strengths. But employers are expecting this, so you have to be a little bit more subtle, a little bit more creative. Consider telling the interviewer about real weaknesses and challenges that you have had, but emphasizing the ways that you overcame those obstacles and improved as a professional. This way, you can give a positive impression of yourself without seeming like you never think about your flaws. Preparing for likely questions is all about building confidence. The better an idea you have of what interviewers will ask and how you will respond, the quicker and more coherent your answers will be. Next, make sure that you research the company. Interviewers don't want to know the value of your skills in a generic office environment. They're interested in finding someone who can address their needs specifically. You are thus more likely to land the job if you research the company in depth before the interview. Here are some of the most important details for you to brush up on. First, look at the team members. To the degree possible, given the information that's publicly available, find out who you'll be working with. Focus on members of the department you are likely to work in, as well as managers and specialists from other departments that you'll have to interact with. The more you know about potential coworkers, the easier it is to show employers that you are a team player and that you can fit in. Next, look at company history. Learn about when the company was founded, how it rose to success, and who has played a major role in it over the years. Not only will this help you figure out how you can contribute, but it gives you a sense of why this business is important. You can thus show your interviewer that you are committed to whatever you will be doing. When I talk to my prospective clients for speaking engagements, which is a job application, a job interview, what I do is I look up everything I can find on the internet, and I find out what their stock price is and what their stock prices have done and what they sell and how their sales are going and who their competition are. And then I lead with questions. I say, I see your stock went up this last week. Why was that? What exactly happened? What do you expect for the future? Interviewers love to talk about their company, and if you lead off with informed information about the company, they will love to talk to you. Figure out what challenges the company is facing or is likely to face in the future that will prevent its growth. Then, determine the ways in which you can resolve these issues. You can help solve those problems. They say in selling that every product is a solution to a problem. We even say the words problem to be solved, PTBS. So one of the things you're looking for is a company that has a problem or problems that you can solve with your talents and abilities. That's a guaranteed job. So armed with this information, you can present yourself as a solution to the firm's most pressing problems, showing the interviewer that there's clear value in hiring you. Knowledge is power, and the more you know about a company, the greater an impression you will leave during the interview. You'll start to cause the interviewer to think, we need this person working with us to help us to achieve our goals. Once you have assembled this information, you'll be ready to practice in person. Finally, find a friend, preferably someone with business experience, who will be willing to conduct a mock interview with you. Ask them to pay close attention to your facial expressions, your style of speech, and other factors that impact how you will come across to the real interviewer. This will help you to improve the qualitative factors that affect your likelihood of getting a job, but cannot be mastered through simple research and memorization. Holding a practice interview also makes it easier for you to identify and fill gaps in your knowledge. If you have trouble answering one of your friend's questions or cannot elaborate on one of your own answers, you know what to brush up on before the real interview. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and followers. Action orientation is the mark of the superior executive, also the superior person. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is this: how do you prepare for job interviews? Leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to nail job interviews, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about the essential pillars of personal development. Knowing what areas you excel in and which areas you could improve in is very useful for your personal and professional life. Personal development is the process of improving yourself through conscious habits and activities. We pursue personal growth to enhance our quality of life and achieve our dreams and aspirations. Personal development is a process that takes time and effort, as well as patience with yourself. If you set a goal, make a plan, and work on it every day, you will see progress in every aspect of your personal and professional life, and sometimes far faster than you can imagine. Today, I'm going to share 7 essential pillars of personal development with you. I know that if you focus on all 7 of these key areas, you'll be able to grow and reach your goals faster than you may have thought possible. The first pillar is personal skills. Personal skills are areas of expertise you were either born with or have practiced and perfected or want to perfect. You may have heard them called soft skills in a workplace setting. They're skills like being dependable, a problem solver, motivated, adaptable, hardworking, collaborative, innovative, respectful, intuitive, dynamic, creative. These are all essential skills for you to have to be successful. Knowing what areas you excel in and which areas you could improve in is very useful for your personal and professional life. Now, Think about what personal skills you exemplify now and which ones could use improvement. How will you share your skills with others? What will you do to master new ones? The second essential pillar is personal growth. Personal growth is bettering yourself, stepping out of your comfort zone, focusing on becoming a better version of yourself. As humans, our minds are constantly evolving. Your job is to always be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Really think about what areas of your personal life you want to improve, and then take action every day to make those changes. The third essential pillar of personal development is personal power. Personal power is being connected and supported by people and money. Surrounding yourself with peers, friends, and family who have like-minded goals and are willing to help you can directly affect how successful you become. Developing an ever-widening circle of contacts increases the number of open doors for you. Money in the bank provides freedom and the ability to take full advantage of certain opportunities when they present themselves. When you have financial freedom, you have more room to work on your personal development. How do you want to increase your personal power? The fourth essential pillar is personal improvement. Personal improvement stems from good work habits and a positive mental attitude. Thinking before you act is critical to developing good work habits. Set priorities on a list and consider the likely consequences before beginning. Maintaining a positive mental attitude will reduce the amount of time it takes you to achieve your goal. Could you improve your positive mental attitude? Have you identified your top priorities, those things that have a lasting effect in your life instead of temporary pleasure? And do they get the most attention in your day? Next is this fifth essential pillar, personal empowerment. Promoting a positive image and creativity within your daily life can speed up the time it takes you to achieve your goals and boost your personal empowerment. Creative thinking means continually looking for faster, better, easier, and cheaper ways to get the job done. It's important to constantly challenge yourself to learn and grow. Use creative thinking to achieve your goals and empower yourself. Think of the areas of your life that cause you frustration or worry or disappointment. How can you use creative thinking to empower yourself to improve these areas? The sixth essential pillar of personal development is personal analysis. It's very important to be conscious of areas in which you are naturally gifted, as well as analyze areas in which you need improvement. Being truthful about where you currently stand is the first step to moving forward. You should be constantly evaluating where you stand today in relationship to achieving your goals and ambitions in the future. Where do you personally need improvement? Be honest with yourself to propel yourself forward. The last essential pillar of personal development is personal objectives. Ambition goes to waste when there are no clear goals in sight. Developing short-term and long-term goals are a pivotal step. Clearly, set these goals for yourself. Having a set plan will help you to have a clear understanding of what strategies are necessary in order to reach your desired destination. What are your goals? What's your plan to reach them? And how can you hold yourself accountable as well as reward yourself for successes? Now that you know the 7 essential pillars of personal development, you can create a winning strategy to progress toward becoming your very best self. Download my free personal development plan template to help you to get started. Now, I love to hear from you, so my question today is, which personal development pillar do you feel inspired to begin working on today? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to follow up with you. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about personal development pillars, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.